I also want to just do a quick video on the riser component and how you can use it as an end stop, hence why it's called the riser/end stop. So I'm going to quickly do a joint between this and that edge. I'm going to place it, it's just for illustration this, so I'll just place it there. And the reason I've pushed it up against this edge rather than this edge is because the stock's on this side, so you're going to be pushing the riser that way. And what it's going to be pushing isn't the riser itself, it's going to be the grub screw or an actual screw which has been threaded into the riser. So I'm going to do a quick sketch. The riser comes with grub screws, but grub screws, because they've got obviously they've got the thread on them, doesn't make them for a smooth surface to push up against. So it depends where you contact the grub screw, which might slightly alter the distance. It might also leave a mark on your stock, so I prefer to use a screw. So what I'm going to do is just project this circle like so, and then I'm going to press that for a circle. And I'm going to give this a diameter of 4.5, I think. So that is to represent the screw head. You'll see what I'm doing in a moment. Delete, finish. I'm going to create a new component, and I'm just going to call this riser screw. I'm not going to have that as my parent. Actually, I'm going to have the riser itself as the parent. I'm going to hit OK. So the riser screw appears underneath the riser. I'm going to take that and that, and I'm going to extrude it to the distance I want it from the fixture plate. So because you're using it as an end stop, it doesn't need to be precise. So I'm just going to say from object, I'm going to say distance of say 6. I'm going to give it an offset of 4. So change that to 2. Offset of 4 gives me a total distance of 6. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is extrude the smaller circle, which appears in the sketch. So not sketch. If I can select it, it's not letting me select it, which is slightly annoying, probably because there you go. Right, I'm going to hide that. There we go. I'm going to make that visible again. And you don't really need to do this, but because you're hitting against this top of the screw. So I'm going to extrude that. I'm just going to go down to the bottom here. And it's going to join. And it's going to be in there. So it's going to join that. So that's just to simulate your screw. And then if we come out, go to the top head again, so we make everything visible. You see that you've got a screw to hit against. Now if you've got it raised up like this, you'll want to make the screw head taller, so you want it up here, you want to use a longer screw. But you get the idea of how you can use that as an end stop. So when you put your raw stock in, you can just butt up against that, and it just gives you a repeatable setup. So if you're doing lots of parts that are the same, butt up to that, and you'll always get the same location for your stock. I forgot to mention, actually, if you've got a situation like this where you've actually got quite a thin piece of stock, obviously it could potentially, or it's slightly thinner, it could potentially go inside this screw head and not be able to hit, and you can't reposition the riser component over this channel. So instead what you do is just get a couple of these and then use some sort of shim to form a bridge across here, and it'll hit up against the screw on here and the screw on this riser and form a solid end stop across. So just you can then butt this up to that, and that gives you your flat surface to hit up against.